Hello YouTube, this is Jerry D in Tennessee. Let's talk about some stocks. It's a trader's world. Alright, my first one I'm going to talk about is Stryker Oil and Gas Incorporated. They closed out the week pretty good. I mean, they had a spike. Let's look at it this way. So let's look at this spike. The spike was 166,566.67%. So if you look at this, this is hard to make money on the spike. Like, I mean, it held $1 price from 10:30 to about 10:30 to 10:45. So 15 minutes. Is that about right? Or 10:20? It's about 15 minutes. So you had 15 minutes to make money on this stock. Excuse me. So how many shares could you put $1,000 in this? I didn't get into this stock quick enough, so I wasn't invested, but it come up on the scanner and I wanted to talk about it. I mean, 166,000%, that's a pretty good spike. So I wish I'd got in on this. But you don't know till it starts moving. So what got it on the radar is when this thing started going up, and I mean, it went up in 15 minutes. So you had to be on top of this stock and in this thing. You had to get in as it was going up, and that would notify you off the scanner. The scanner would say, hey, this stock went up 5%, this stock went up 10%, this went 15%, this went up 20%. So this thing, the scanner's like telling you how much percentage this thing's going up, right? So price was 0.0003. So you could have bought 3 million shares. 3,333,000. A lot of threes. So, well, yeah, 0.003, yeah, a third. So, okay. So let's say 3 million shares. 3 million shares. $1,000, right? Let's say 3 million shares times 0.0003. And that's $900. That's $900, okay? It went up to $1. It went up to $1, okay? So that'd be $3 million. $1,000. I'd love to jump in this stock, but I didn't notice it quick enough to get into this stock. But somebody apparently did, because it moved. I mean, if somebody had the motivation to buy into the stock at 0.0003 and then catch this stock at a spike of a price of $1, then you've got 15 minutes right here to sell. If you can get out of the stock. It depends on, it didn't look like there was a lot of volume. Okay, so if you were able to get out of the stock, sell 3 million shares, you would have had to sell it. Here's the thing. If you try to dump all 3 million shares, you have something like this. You bought something really cheap. You put $1,000 in it, you got several million shares. The thing is, you can't just dump 3 million shares in one order, because what's going to happen is you're going to get a partial execution. Okay? And if the price goes up, that execution is going to sit there and somebody else is going to be, if the price drops, say somebody undersells you and they drop the price, then your price too high and you can't sell. You might sell 150,000 shares. Okay? Well, let's just say you put an order in. You want to sell all 3 million shares. So what will happen is you'll sell 150,000 shares at $1. Okay? And after you get 150,000 shares, you got a partial execution on your order. So what'll happen is somebody will be out there selling for 99 cents. It'll be the next one. So what you have to do is go in and jump into your order that's got partial execution. You've already sold 150,000 shares of stock. You've got to change that order, change the price you're willing to sell at, and you either set it at 99 cents if you see your sales going through on L2, or you undersell that by you go to 98 cents and sell. And you have to really get faster executions on that many shares. If you've got a big number of shares you want to dump real fast, you really should dump it at 150,000 shares, or just chunks. It doesn't have to be 150,000. It could be 200,000. It could be 50,000 shares at a time. But cut it up in several orders. Okay, and that way you won't end up in partial executions, because what you can do is set your first one 150,000 shares while it's selling. You're making a next order, and you don't have to go back into that previous order and re-edit it. You're already on another order. Then you get on the next order of the next 150,000 shares. Excuse me, my sinuses are bothering me. Then you get on the next 150,000 shares. You got to keep moving and have multiple orders. You can't just dump them all in one sale. It's hard to do that. It really is. Especially even if the stock's moving, because the price is going to change as you're selling the stock. And that many shares, you're going to run out of shares, because it may only be 150,000. Excuse me again. That somebody's trying to sell for $1. And the next one's trying to sell 150,000, or might be 25,000 at 99 cents. So you got to look at L2 and see what the prices are up there on the board, what the ask and bids are. That'll give you an indication on how to sell the stock. You have to look at how the stock's is rolling in L2 to determine how you're going to sell your stock. But I mean, that would be, somebody made some money that day. I mean, for it to jump like that, why it would jump like that? Oh, this is going to, there we go. 1 day, 3 day. This chart looks a little different. Somebody wanted in this stock. Bad. But that, the thing is too, you can get stuck in the stock too, because if you don't have anybody that's willing to buy or is interested or watching this stock, there's no orders to buy, and there's no, especially if all the shares are locked up, you may not be able to get into the stock or out of the stock. And first, nobody's sitting there buying, and you're trying to dump the stock and try to make a profit. You can't sell it if there's no buyers. So yeah, be wary of what you're doing when you're doing it. Use your head. Don't go real crazy. Don't try to hit a home run. That's when you're going to burn yourself. Don't go for home runs. If you can take small gains, every now and then something like this. If you bought 50,000 shares, I mean, for just a little bit of money, you could have turned that into $50,000. What was the volume for that day? let's go back 1 day. Well, 14,000 is the volume in 10 days. So that many shares really did move. It just jumped. That's an interesting spike. It got my attention on the scanner. And I wish I'd noticed it. I probably would have looked at it, and as sharp as this gets going up, I probably wouldn't have been able to get into this stock to be able to sell it at $1, because it would already, by the time it hit the scanner and by the time I got and brought up an order to buy, that stock was already at $1, and it sat at $1 for about 15 minutes. So, yeah, it's harder to get into these stocks, especially if it's a straight up. If they go up fast, they can lose it. Look how fast it dropped. I mean, that's crazy. 1048, 1051. I mean, it's dropping pretty darn fast. I mean, you're trying to get out of this stock before you get back down to the sub penny land. I mean, let's see, it's at 5 cents right here. From $1 to 5 cents in just a few minutes, it dropped. See, that's how you can get stuck in a stock. That is how you can get stuck in a stock. You got to watch it. You got to be careful, man. Trade smart, trade scared. Don't trade any money that you can't stand to lose, because things can go south fast. And I mean, like this, the way this is dumped, you can see, if you look at the time down there at the bottom, how fast this price is dropping. I mean, you've got minutes to get out of this stock before you're back down. You know, I mean, it got down to a nickel. But if you bought up here somewhere where it might have just jumped straight. It looks almost like it jumped straight. That's insane that somebody just jumped and said, somebody might have had an order and somebody took the order to buy at $1, but because they wanted into the stock. Something this it's not paying dividends, so it's not a dividend. It's not big enough to be a dividend stock. Price isn't up there. So, yeah, that's something I was going to mention. If it paid dividends, like Gush, I've talked about Gush in the past. Gush is up over in $50 land now, and whereas just maybe a month ago it was $18 a share, $16 to $18 a share. It's on a trend up, and it pays dividends. So if you got stuck in it, it's not quite as bad. You got that dividend coming in that's going to give you some money too. It's like having interest coming in off the bank. But yeah, I like Gush. Let's look at another. Let's move on. Give Me Power Corp. All right, check them out. Give Me Power Corp. They went up 138%, 138.67%. So the day's range was 14 cents to 50 cents. That's not a bad, that's not a bad day. And it's another one that went up. Let's look at the chart bigger. Let's get the bigger chart up. 1 day. That's what I want to look at. That spiked on Friday. So they're about getting into lunchtime for most people. It showed up on the scanner, and it's coming up, but it's kind of choppy. That's a good day. And you can look where, when it hit the high, you can see the red right here where people were trying to get out to make their profit. Larger chart. See, they're trying to make their profit, and then when people are dumping, see, they're taking the bid, on the stock, and the price is going down every time you take a bid. They're trying to dump the stock. They're trying to get out. They're trying to make as much profit. And depending on the position, you might sell in one order. You may have to chop it up in several orders, depending on how big the sales, how big the orders are that's going through. Because the orders are going to fill so far, and like I said, you'll get partial execution. You may not get out of that. You could get stuck in the stock. You keep changing your order and you can't catch up, and the price keeps dropping, and then you end up in the red, and then you're stuck. So these sharp spikes right here like this, I like the gradual spikes a little better, and I like to be able to sit on a stock for a few days to maybe a month or two. Or I mean, one stock I made $8,000 on, I held for maybe a year, because I was watching some projects. They kept showing news about some projects. It's an energy company, well, Blue Spear, and I've been in that stock for a little over a year, I guess. And it's went up, and it's still going up. It's up and down. It's getting choppy, but they got a contract. They were selling, the Blue Spears had a contract, methane gas contract. They were going to start a contract with some company, and they should be releasing news soon. I look for Blue Spear to move on up because it's an energy company. And it's like this one, Give Me Power Corp. Let's look back at the, where am I at? I'm in the big chart. Close the big chart. So if we go back to the snapshot, does it give a description of the company? Well, the name pretty much tells me it's an energy company or something. Maybe batteries. I don't know. But see, if you'd been in it a year, it would have been choppy up and down, and then you hit this spike, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm going to jump out of this stock, man." And then you go and look at it like this, and you kind of look see where the stock's headed. I mean, they'll get choppy like this one. I mean, it went up, and it looks like it's holding, right? Let's go back to 1 year. It's up. It looks like it's holding its price. So this stock is probably going to stay. It jumped up quite a bit right here. Okay. It went up to 50 cents on the high. If you look over here to the day range. So, but it's dropped to 35, 36, 37. So it's going to do like Blue Spear's doing, and it's going to hover right around this until you hear some more news. You know, maybe there's a story on Bloomberg radio or the Bloomberg channel on cable or something comes out, and it gets it in the public's eye, and people will buy into it when it's in the news because it's in front of everybody. They're thinking about it. They're like, oh, this is an energy company. They just released that they got this contract going. They're making money. Life is good. Last quarter was up. Yeah, I'm going to buy into this stock. This stock's going to go up, and that's what causes it to go up. Is it's in the news, it's in the public's eye, and they're looking for stuff to buy into, so they buy into it. It's plain and simple. A stock's worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. Just like a classic car, like I've said in the previous video. But 138.67% is not bad. Not a bad day. King Pine Creek Mining Ltd. I guess they're mining. I wish they used to tell something about the company, but I don't see that information. They've been changed since Morgan Stanley took them over. since the little merger's going on with Morgan Stanley and E-Trade, they're making changes to the site. And I'm kind of, I don't know what I think about the changes. I guess we'll see. Maybe it'll be for the better. All right. So, 5 days. So this guy spiked this week, 118%. 20 cents up to $1.25 is the high. So those people that's long in this stock, I'm sure they had a good day. 118% is not a bad day or a bad week. You can see there's a little movement right here. So average volume for 10 days does not look like it's very big. 3,887 shares. So that might be one person buying and selling out of it as it's going up and dip buying right there. Somebody might have played this dip. So, okay, so let's move on to another one. ECMT ECMT Incorporated. So they had an 87% spike. It wants it to fall to a year, doesn't it? Must have you looked at something for a year. If you look at a year, like if you go to Gush, it'll tell you where the price is trending. But anyway, I'm talking about ECMT. So ECMT, what's the 04? Well, right here, it was 15 cents and got up to 28 cents. So, I mean, that's not doubling your money, but that's still a good opportunity right there. And here's what I like about this one. It's stair-stepped up. This right here, this spike is probably what got the scanner's attention right here, this spike right here. When it jumped from 15 cents to 23, that spike, that got people's attention, okay? People probably got in here, and then it spiked again. It stair-stepped up. It's easier to get into stock in here and then sell out of it when it's doing this. But still, the volume's a little more on that other one than the other one we just looked at is 35,000. I thought they used to tell you what the whole total shares outstanding is 23. I thought they had 6.8 million as market cap. The volume, I guess this is what sold then, 16,750 shares. So there wasn't a whole lot of people into this, but they caused it to spike 87%. So 16,750 shares. So let's go on to the next one. YTEN Yield 10 Bioscience Incorporated. 76%, almost 77. And you see the bid, people's trying to buy in at $12.87, but the ask, people's trying to get out of it at $13.10. Somebody's trying to, 400 shares, 300 shares. So see how small of shares that people getting in and out of. But the day range, 770 to 1442. So that's not a bad. And see, this is a gradual going up too. It's a lot easier to make money on these stocks when it's a gradual climb. The sharp one is real easy to lose money. And you can see there was 3 million shares, almost 3.5 million shares traded Friday. Right here at what was the price? Or price, I can't even talk. Said, thinking one thing, said something else. The time, so this is in the afternoon at 3, after 3, when it's really started moving. It was like trickling, and then bam, it went on up. And we'll see what happens Monday on this one. It'll be interesting. But 76.9%. So here's another one. CRNT, it was up 53%. Saragon Networks Ltd. So this probably got... So the people that made money on this Friday were probably already in the stock. Looks like they had news on the 13th, a date for fourth quarter, full year financial results. So they're going to release their they're going to report their financials. See, there's more information on this one. They're not consistent between what they're showing on some of these. Maybe it makes a difference if the company is being transparent or not. Because this is on PR Newswire, so if the company's not releasing any news, maybe you won't see a whole lot down here. But anyway, let's talk about this spike. So this thing, so most of the people who made money that day is probably the people that were already in this stock. See how sharp this thing went up? 1027. At 1027. Okay. At 342, and then it's already at 6 at 1033. That's just 6 minutes. This stock is spiked. I mean, straight up. And then it goes back down, and it's kind of choppy all day. And a person probably could have got into the dips and bought in and just made a little bit. I mean, if you make $1 a share or whatever. So yeah, it looks like it's what they're doing. So you see as it's going up right here. So people starting to buy in. You can tell right here they're starting to buy in right here because the scanner's got their attention. They're watching L2, and right there the group of people bought in and caused it to go up, and then this got out. But yeah, it kind of got choppy after that one big spike. So I would say the most people probably made the money that were already into this stock before it went up like that. See all this red? People dumping the stock. They made their money. They're getting out. Right there. There's a group right there. All that red. Some people look like they were dip buying. You can see from the green. Buying the dips and trying as while the momentum on the price is going, it looks like some people were playing the stock and getting in and out, You got to watch that too, getting in. You better have some money in your bank if you try to play that game. If you're in and out of a stock, because what happens, you got to have enough money and keep your trade small enough to where you're not eating up your account, your reserves in your account. Because when you make a sale, it takes you 2 days, 2, sometimes 3, depending on the brokerage, for your money to clear, and you can't reuse that money if you sell that stock for 2 or 3 days, or you're going to what do they call it, gentleman's agreement violation. Is that what they call it? I think it's what they call it. Agreement violation. Yeah. An agreement such as general information made orally, legally not binding despite their information. So, Let's do this. This is a teachable moment. Gentlemen, I guess try gentleman agreement violation. I think it's what it's called. No, it's not coming up. All right, so it didn't come up. There's a message, and I think the message will say you may be in violation of the gentleman agreement violation. So here's the thing. Let's look at this stock again. So you get into this stock, you were in it before, and you put all you had into this stock, okay? And it spiked. And then you turn around and you sold and you made your profit, right? And right here in the dip, you're wanting to buy into that dip. If you buy in it and you didn't have enough money to cover what you want to buy in other than what you made on the stock, then they will let you buy into the stock again or another stock. But the thing is, a message will come up and it will say, you have to hold this stock for 3 days. I believe it's the exact message that will pop up because I've had it come up on me. I was trading hot and heavy and lost track of what I had traded and what I had in reserves. And you get this message, this nasty little message that says, if you sell this stock within 3 days, you'll be in violation of the gentleman's agreement with E-Trade. And we can lock your account. And I think they can fine you. Don't hold me to that. I'm not really sure if they can fine you. I think they might lock your account for violation of that for maybe 30 days or something like that. So be careful if you're swing trading, day trading. There's a lot you've got to keep in your head and pay attention, because if you're not using a margin account and you're using a cash account, it's got to be cleared money when you're buying and selling these stocks. So once you get out of this stock, then E-Trade is, I know for a fact because that's who I use, and this is the site that I'm on is E-Trade. Anyway, looking at the charts, but anyway, if you buy into another stock, using your winnings off of another stock without waiting 3 days, you will need to hold that stock for 3 days so your money will clear. They will let you have the shares, okay? But you technically do not have the money. It's like if you're buying something, you're transferring money. Well, when you transfer into E-Trade, it takes 3 days for your bank account to get there. Everything's got to clear. The sale's got to go through. The money's got to go through the process of transferring from the brokerage account into your account after the sale of the shares are final. It takes 2 to 3 days, and E-Trade will tell you when the money's cleared. Because what you will do, you'll see on the screen, it'll say the money, you have so much that you can withdraw. Well, if you sold stock and the money's not cleared, you're going to show that you have more purchasing power than you have actual money that you can take out because that money's not cleared. I hope that makes sense. I hope I don't confuse anybody. But be careful. Be careful. All right. So I appreciate everybody that come in and checked out my video. If you like it, I appreciate if you smash the like. It'll push my videos out to more people that's interested in stock trading. And I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow the channel. I mean, I've got almost 90, 89. I think there was 89 people on the channel, and I appreciate everybody subscribing to my channel. But I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to gain more subscriptions, and I'm planning on kicking out some more videos on these stock spikes and talk about stock trading and stuff. Hopefully some people will learn from my experiences on trading. I do not claim to be a professional stock advisor. I am not a financial advisor. This is just something I'm into. I'm doing this on my own. It's my own little side thing I'm doing. It's a hobby, maybe, so to speak. I like stocks. I can see where you can make money in the stocks, and you can make money, but you can also lose money. I stress you can also lose money. So, that being said, trade smart, trade scared, trade informed. Get a plan when you're trying to trade, and do not invest anything you can't stand to lose, because you can definitely lose money in the stock market. So, that being said, I'll wrap this up. This is Saturday night, January 16th, 2021. The new year started out. Stocks are still spiking during the pandemic, and the pandemic's not over yet. Hopefully this will be a better year. It's having a rough start with the presidential election here in the United States. I hope they get all this stuff. I hope the dust settles and things we can get back to a normal life, because right now it's just crazy. And please, 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 let's not have any more violence. That stuff, the riots, tearing up property, that just doesn't change anything. It doesn't. It just costs people money, and it's just negative. It's just real negative. Voice your opinion. This is a country you're supposed to have freedom of speech. Voice your opinion, but let's not do violence, folks. That was a poor lady that got shot up at the Capitol when they had that riot in there. That's crazy. She did not have to die. She did not have to die. If everybody had just kept their cool and just showed support for President Trump, it wouldn't have been as negative as what it's turned out to be. I try to be peaceful, okay? Voice your opinion, but try to be peaceful, okay? Let's not do this crazy tearing up property and stuff. That just makes things go south. So I'm sorry, I don't need to rant, but anyway, thanks for checking out my video, and I hope to see you in the next one. You have a good weekend, what's left of it, and I hope that the next week is a profitable week for everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye. Hey, thanks for coming by. Glad you checked out the video. I hope you liked it. If you like it, please click on the like button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, would like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. May God bless you, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.